A Tale of Heresy Gamers, Part 1, Gathering the Warlords. Yes. A game of, a tale of heresy gamers, rather. It's the dawn of a new age. Heresy 2.0 is upon us. People are playing games all around the world. And as surely as night follows day, some idiot starts up a Tale of Gamers series. And that idiot is me this time around. Yes, we've started this madness in the beginning of the new edition. We're going to seize on all this excitement and actually going to get stuff done. Because yes, we are different from other Tale of Gamers series. Because we will follow through. Alright, stop laughing. Okay. So what is the challenge? What is the Tale of Heresy Gamers? Well, this is the Warlords journey. The path to power or ruin. We'll be charting army selection, choice of units, painting woes and victories. We'll be capturing every triumph and every misfortune in the next few months. With our warlords coming to grips with the new system and developing armies alongside them, or just simply collections, because there is no right way to collect an army. There's no right way to approach this challenge. Instead, I've gathered a bunch of friends to see what they can produce. It's to keep me motivated, it's to keep them motivated, and hopefully to keep you motivated as well, because we can tell you how you can get involved in the challenge as well. We have decided on a couple of base rules, one of which is just collect 2.5k. It's a good round number for the heresy. It allows you to play big frontline games. Whack a Primarch onto the end of it, that's an extra 500-600 points, and you've got a 3k army. So 2.5 is what we're aiming for. However, this is just a dartboard in the dark. Let's go with this analogy. No, let's not. It's just a rough value that we're all aiming for. You don't need to aim for 2.5k. There's a few people who are starting armies afresh. There are some who are building on existing armies. There are some who may just be producing the odd model here or there. Again, it's no right way, no wrong way. We don't have a set menu per month on what people need to achieve. Rather, it's a collection of fans of the Horus Heresy developing armies and collections alongside one another. Without further ado, shall we meet the Warlords? You can find them on littlelegendstudio.com under the title The Tale of Heresy Gamers Part 1, Gathering the Warlords, and you have a full biop on each of our Warlords. You have a full introduction from all of them, but we can run through them very quickly. On the Traitors side, you have myself, Miles David, most handsomest of the Warlords. We have Samit Bay, I'm not sure whether I should be saying the second name, but he's just submitted Samit, so Samit. Night Lords, Traitor Night Lords, more importantly. Oh, he is rather handsome. Damn. Craig V. Traitor Emperor's Children. You know he's going to be good looking. Look at this dude. Look at this beard. Devastating. We have David, who is playing Traitor Death Guard. Oh, god damn it. Look at him. Look at him with that dog. Up against supermodels here. But the Traitor Death Guard are interesting because David's a student of mine, so we could guide him through that collection. We have Chris Shu, who I think this guy should be the War Master on the Traitor side because he is synonymous with Sons of Horus. If you collect Sons of Horus, or even heard Sons of Horus, you will know who Chris Shu is. And if you don't, shame on you. We have Hickson Keith, Traitor Night Lords. And he's got a really interesting introduction. It's worth reading. It is really worth reading. And that is it on the Traitor side. On the Loyalist side, boo Loyalists. We have Alex from Crescent Edge Studio on the Death and Betrayal podcast. I have to say the Loyalists are nowhere near as good looking as us. It's the Traitors. We have James Wright from Wright's Adventure Guild. We have Rob from the Dark Angels Edge of Empire podcast. We have Keith, who is running, I need to put that down, Loyalist Space Wolves. A little bit of live editing there. From the Mournival podcast and Grimdark Painting. We have Brian Hartley, Loyalist Mechanicum, and he runs the Horus Heresy Painting and Modelling group, and he also has an Instagram and Facebook page. All of these links you can find on littlelegendstudio.com. Joe Bushin, I've never pronounced it Bushin before in my life until now, Bushin. The Emperor's Brush, and he is doing Ultramarines, Loyalist of course. I think the superstar out of the group, and he's going to blush me saying that, Anush Malhotra, who from the Legiones Astartes, and he is collecting a combined force of Blood Angels and Imperial Fists. So, in the beginning, we had a Justarian army. I was very proud of this Justarian army. It sprung out of boredom. It sprung out of, I didn't know what to do during lockdown. I had no idea what I was doing with myself. None of us did, really. So my gaming group, we came up with the idea, okay, let's go back, let's revisit the old black books since we have this time, and we'll do an army and play through the campaign. Well, little did I know that would spawn a movement is too grand of a word, but a worldwide nostalgia pang. How about that? Okay. So we've had events in Adepticon, in LVO, in Cardiff, and it spawned a whole heap of different return to. So return to Badab, return to Armageddon, I've seen. And it's lovely seeing it take off like this, but we do want to continue on with the series. We do want to go on to the next step, onto the next stage to play. Even though we are entering 2.0, no doubt, I mean, we're an inventive bunch. We'll find a way around it. So this is the video log charting the journey of how I'll expand the army. So how did this all start? Well, I started with Justarian. I really wanted a Justarian army. It's an evocative force, it's a cool theme, and more importantly, low model count. I'm not the quickest of painters, even though, so my output is a little bit, well, I do this full time, so seeing the things I produce, it may seem like I'm a quicker painter than I actually am, but this force took around 2 years to complete, and it's only like 16 models. But they're all done up to a very high standard. They're all done up to character level, really. So this is Falcus Kyber, who would go on to become the leader of the Justarian. This is him at Istvan 3. He could be used at Istvan 5 as well. But this time around, I want to go in a slightly opposite direction. I always wanted to expand on the Sons of Horus, but I didn't think I'd want to expand in quite the way that I'm going to. So this is the first model that I'm working through on the expanded Sons of Horus force. This time round, it's infantry. I bought a box set. Yep, I'm a sucker. I bought the box set, so it'll come with 40 infantry that I'm going to break up into 2 units of 20. I'm not going to add any special units, nothing like that, no heavy weapons. And why on earth am I doing this? Well, it all comes back to conceptualizing an army and the practical run through of owning this box set and deciding what to do with it. I do want it to be led, these ground elements, by Horus Aximand. Now this was a miniature produced for the Return to Istvan 3 event. It was an exclusive event miniature that you can still get at Little Legend events, and I've added a couple of bits and pieces to it. So I've sculpted a cloak on the back, and I've added a cloak from the Red Scorpions command set to give it some extra swish. And I thought it'd be really cool if, to chart Aximand's fall from grace, as it were, that this wolf cloak fur would be done in Lunar Wolves colours to show that he slayed Tolgeddon's skull, and his ever, fall into madness. So that's who I want leading the army. But alongside him, I need 40 mooks bum rushing a line, all Mark 6. And for whatever reason, I got in my head that this guy, he is leading a unit of veteran breachers. I think it was one of the novels, or I'm misremembering one of the short stories, where his personal unit, his vanguard, are breachers, or that's his preferred methodology of warfare, breachers. So I'm planning out a veteran force, a veteran corps of breachers for him to lead, and then surrounded by 40 dudes with a couple of Spartans. It's very classic Horus Heresy. Conceptualizing the army. Now this is a question I get asked quite a bit. How do you come up with the ideas for your force? Well, where do any ideas come from? Nostalgia. So before the Bible, before the heresy was launched, this thing I think was the best written codex ever. Pete Haynes took lead on their Sandy Chambers, and it's just stacked full of the most unbelievable artwork, lore, rules writing. I love them. I know it can be broken quite easily, but what can't? And it's a well-thumbed volume of work. Okay, but the army I want to recreate in some fashion is this. So that for me is the perfect balance of Chaos Marine. So we have 2 units of tacticals, in which case I'll be substituting them for 2 big 20-man units of Mark 6 Marines, Mark 6 Mooks, flash indoctrinated. They don't really understand why they fight in. They've just been pumped full of growth hormones and slapped a bolter in their hand and told, kill the yellow ones, kill the red ones. Don't kill the ones in iron and chevron. Unit of Terminators. I don't think any Chaos Army is complete unless you have this silhouette, this outline. Like a unit of Terminators to act as bullies, to act as the Lord's either retinue or to keep the Lord in check. You know they're serving other masters than the Lord. The Lord, such a classic miniature, such a gorgeous miniature, and I'll be substituting that for the little Horus Aximand miniature. You'll notice there's no command squad around him, he's on his own. The demons, I do want to switch those out for a unit of Luperci. So the Luperci were the Sons of Horus equivalent of the Galvoback. They are possessed Space Marines. I do want to either convert a unit or maybe have a unit of breachers or use something analogous to them. But I definitely want some kind of demon-infused force in there. The armor surrounding it, I have bought 2 rhinos in my initial rush, but I'm not really sure how I'm going to use them. Maybe so. This guy is a veteran. I'll probably end up with at least 1 unit of veterans that I can stick them in. I'm not really sure what to use the other rhino for, but that's a problem for tomorrow's me. Have bought a couple of Land Raider Spartans. Again, I'm just spending money like a lunatic right now on Age of Darkness 2.0. And we have a Dreadnought. That's not featured here, that's very disappointing, but we all... What elements of this force do we have already? Well, we have lots of Justarian already, so they are covered. We have the Lord covered. Then it's just the ground elements, the bits that will allow me to play multifaceted games. Because an army like the Justarian is tremendously thematic, but it doesn't lead you into very... you can't play a variety of games with them. So seize the objective, for example. Yep, you can send a bunch of Justarian, but does it make sense in-game? Storming the walls of a fortress, taking an objective, killing a target. There's only a certain number of games that you're able to play narratively with all Justarian force. Whereas if I have 40 Marines, if I have Breachers, if I have Possessed, it just opens up this game to do so much more with it. So that is the very first conception of the army. How do I want to do it? Well, we'll have Aximand leading the ground elements, 2 big units of 20 Marines, either in Spartans or on foot. We'll have a core of Justarian, around 15 guys, so all my Justarian needs are taken care of right then and there. At least 1 unit of veterans, because I have the models for them. I'm putting them together right now. And at least 1 unit of Possessed. So 1 special unit that'll be converting from the ground up, or hopefully, by the time I come to the end of this force, we might have models for the Luperci. tokens and glyphs. So during the course of an army, I do like to include certain Easter eggs, let's say. With the Sons of Horus force, we have certain markers, certain visual cues. Wolf cloak pelts are a great way to indicate a veteran status. Very easy to sculpt, and you can find a video in the Little Legend Patreon vault. Very, very simple to sculpt. I've been doing it on a couple of bits and pieces. Here's a preview of another dude that you'll be seeing on the Patreon. I'll do a video guide for him. Wolf cloak pelts for veterans. Another great thing we can have is mirror coins, which are these small coins that came to represent entry into the Serpent Lodges, so into the lodges that led to the fall of the Space Marine Legions. And mirror coins were also used by Sons of Horus, because these guys, they're very much like gang-led. They fall into war bands even when they were a legion, even before they fall into being traitors. The mirror coins were used by gang leaders to send or to pay the ferryman into the next life. So when the gangs would die, put a mirror coin on their eyes. And these are really easy to create. I'll be showing you on the Patreon how to do it, how to prepare the materials and how to add it on. Another really cool thing we can do with these guys, skulls. Lots and lots and lots of skulls. So on this piece, we have Tarek Togeddon's skull. Thought that's a really nice visual cue. We have a Khyber with a whole nest of skulls and heads. Now you can buy skulls, resin skulls from, I believe this is from Green Stuff World, and it comes with all broken up heads and ones with bullet marks. So you don't need to put them on the miniatures themselves, you can put it on the base. And whenever your miniature records a notable kill or does something cool, you can cut one of these off, paint it up, pop it on here, and it doesn't need to be a complicated recipe. You could bronze them. So decayed metal over the top, a little bit of turquoise into the recesses, glue it onto the miniature. It represents a notable kill for your character. Chains are another great thing that we can incorporate into our work. So you can buy fine chain from Amazon that we can link and thread throughout the miniature. So I've already prepared that for a skull to go on top of. Join me if you'd like to learn how to paint the Sons of Horus green. We have a cornucopia of lessons on this already up on the Patreon, all available for $15. You get access to PDFs, seminars, video tutorials, the lot. And it also has quite a few just staring videos on there as well. So we have you covered in terms of black, green, and everything in between. What? How can you get involved? Because it's not just about us, it's about you as well. It's about everybody motivating one another to get a collection made. How can you get involved? Well, we'll be posting at the end of every month on littlelegendstudio.com the progress of our Warlords, seeing who fails, who flounders, who succeeds, and who falls into the murky depths of history. But for you to get involved, you can join alongside us in any social media that you use. Hashtag any progress that you make with Tale of Heresy Gamers. That's it. That's all you need to do to get involved alongside us. Please feel free to join along the journey with us, shout at us, harass us, send encouragement. I'd love to get a little bit of rivalry develop between the traitors and the loyalists, but that can easily spill into a bar fight. I will see you in the next video, where we will live stream that bar fight.